Hey, what's up? It is me, Jessie. So I wanted to make my first YouTube video. I just recorded one that was like 10 minutes long. I was like, this is a lot for a first video. And plus, I mistakenly said something that I'm just like, I'm just gonna leave the whole thing and start over. So that's what I'm doing. So, first of all, my name is Jessica Alexandra Rathel. I was born in Columbus, Georgia. I lived here and in Catawba, Georgia, the majority of my life, pretty much all my life. Actually, yeah, like literally almost all my life. And the reason I say almost is because when I was pregnant with my daughter, and even after she was born, I lived kind of part-time in Alabama because I was still living in Georgia, but I lived in Alabama, like, during the day. I slept in Alabama because I worked at night. So I don't even call that living in Alabama because I literally came home to Georgia every day. I mean, to sleep as well. So if Georgia Medicaid wants to catch me in some bullshit, that's not even right. Anyway, I've already paid the IRS and the Social Security people all kinds of money that was just crazy that I had to pay, but I paid them. So I'm sure I could pay Medicaid again too if they want to get me on that shit. I am a woman of my word. I try to do the right thing, even if it is not sociably accepted. Socially accepted, yeah. Sociably, I don't know where I got that from. Even if it's not socially accepted, and here's the reason why. So if you're a person that has been born in the South, sorry, like, I went for a walk earlier, and I have, like, I don't know what in my fucking, oh my god, I cussed again. Oh, man, I don't know, but I have something in my little tank top, and, it's just bothering my titties. I already cussed once, so I'll go ahead and make this adult-only viewing. Anyway, so, I got off subject. I don't know what I was talking about. Something about something. Well, you know I'm a real person, because I can't remember shit. My grandparents used to joke all the time, be like, we can't remember shit, we don't have dementia or Alzheimer's, we have CRS, can't remember shit. Oh, I was talking about the South. Okay, so if you were born in the South, and you literally have been around just a big variety of different kinds of people, and if you grew up here, at least if you grew up in my years, 96 was when I was born, 1996, and I was pretty, I'm a pretty well-rounded individual. I want to think. Now, of course, there are things I can always learn. But I grew up with all kinds of people from all different walks of life. This is not a hillbilly town. Columbus is right near a military base that is, like, huge and scary. And, so we have a lot of, diversity because there's so many different, like, military brats. That's what we call children in the military here in the United States. We have so many military brats, and we have so many different types of people that come here and choose to live here. And some people choose to stay here, retire here. We have a lot of older people that live in Columbus. Uptown, which is actually downtown, it's a very rich part of Columbus. I can't even get an apartment in Uptown, downtown, because, it is so fancy. And what kills me about it is it didn't used to be. Like, I mean, I guess it always has been, but, you know, downtown was somewhere that people could afford to live, and now, like, no one can afford to live there because, you know, you have everybody doing, like, the home improvement stuff, DIY things like that. And so you have really rich people come in and they buy these houses that are, like, super old because they love how things were made back in the day. And they renovate them and they make them just like super expensive to live in. So what used to be an old decrepit house that someone poor like I am could afford, it is no longer decrepit and falling apart. It is now majestic like a castle because a rich man or woman or a duo of whatever kind of sort came in and refinished it. So that happened to a lot of the old houses downtown, which is why it is such a high market living area. Now that I said that, don't get me wrong, because also in downtown there are some rackety places, there's some iffy places. If you're from here, you know what I'm talking about. There's some places that if you are any color, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, any color, you should not go there at night without a weapon. Because one thing that people don't know, which I will tell you because I'm from Columbus, okay? Columbus, Georgia, USA, 31904 was my zip code growing up. So I will tell you, you are in a catch-22, because while there are all these rich people, sometimes rich people bring a lot of powerful people, and a lot of powerful people sometimes bring a lot of dangerous people. So, long story short, and lesson to be learned about that is that we have a lot of gang violence in Columbus, and what a lot of people don't know when they come to visit is that there are so many different gangs in Columbus that there's at least one shooting every night. Sorry, that's my phone. It's kind of like, you go to, you know how like Chicago was back in the day? I mean, I don't live in Chicago. My little sisters live there. So it's not like, you know, I'm not aware, but honestly, she feels safer there than she did here. That's how bad Columbus is, because everybody can get a gun. Now, not necessarily in Georgia, because Georgia is kind of like more of the gun safety. You have to be qualified. You have to, go through the steps of owning a firearm. But here's the thing. Columbus and Alabama are right on the line. Like the Chattahoochee River and Columbus downtown, it's right across the river. Like, you're literally in Alabama. So people from Columbus act like they're from Alabama because we are so close. With that being said, Alabama, you can go buy a firearm and not have to fill out the necessary paperwork that you have to fill out in Georgia, which means any old person and their grandma can just go buy a firearm, not necessarily having to give out any information about them. And the only reason I know this is because I struggle with mental health. And I've asked several pawn shops, and without telling them that I struggle with mental health, and every last one of them were willing to sell me a gun without having to go through the paperwork. Now that I've said that, I won't tell you which ones because I just don't think that's fair to the business. I will just say this because I'm running out of time because my phone can only hold like 10 minutes worth of video. Be careful when you drive through, because honestly, Georgia and Alabama are very dangerous places. Like, you hear about cornfields. Yeah, you should hear about the woods here. My street, Moss Drive, is directly off of Dead Man's Curve. And Dead Man's Curve is like an Indian cemetery. And I hear about places being haunted. I'd be like, bitch, I actually hear screaming at night. And it could be an actual kid screaming. Like, I really don't know. I'll post my Snapchat video on here so you could hear what I'm talking about. Or if you believe in demonic possession, which everyone should because it's real, it could be like a demonic possession. Who knows? Or it could be somebody playing a joke, because there's a lot of pranksters here. Either way, remember to be aware of your surroundings wherever you go, and have someone with you at all times, or at least have a phone and a weapon